Hey guys, welcome back to Duality 7X. I got a quick update here about that whole incident with Quinton Rampage Jackson's son, Roger Jackson, and that incident that he had between himself and pro wrestler Stu Smith, aka Syko Stu. So, if you guys, just a little bit of context here. Back on August 23rd of this year, at a Knokx Pro Indie Wrestling event in Los Angeles, Raja Jackson, the son of legendary UFC former light heavyweight champion of the world, Quinton Rampage Jackson, Raja Jackson was invited as a special guest, and he was supposed to have this kind of like wrestling spot, kind of like a promo between him and Syko Stu, who's a wrestler on the card. And apparently things went really south, and to the point where, as kind of like to kind of build it up a little bit of hype, Syko Stu hit Roger Jackson over the head with the beer can. And again, it wasn't hard. It was kind of like it kind of grazed him on the side of his head, but still enough, I guess, to piss off Raja, because I don't know if he was really expecting that. Again, this was just to really sell, kind of like, I guess, sell the spot a little bit, just to create a little bit of hype and excitement for the fans. And something happened. So Syko Stu, he went into the ring and he kind of walked around a little bit. And this is where Roger Jackson was supposed to enter the ring and just kind of maybe push him around a little bit, maybe take him to the canvas. But it was supposed to be really light, kind of on the surface. Just to sell the whole look and feel that there was some issues kind of going on between him and Syko Stu, but nothing more than that. Something flipped in Raja's head, and he entered the ring during his match, picked up Syko Stu and smashed him to the canvas, and then just, essentially delivered some ground and pound style blows to the head, at least 20 punches to the head. Many of them came after the fact that Smith himself was already incapacitated and unconscious. He was lying there in a pool of his own blood, teeth on the canvas, and he suffered numerous health issues and problems there afterwards, broken jaw and some other things as well too. He went to the hospital, he got treated, he was released. But then a lot of people around the world who are watching this, a lot of wrestlers, athletes, celebrities, people like Mr. Beast himself, and then even Chris Jericho, and a whole bunch of others. They kind of got together and created kind of GoFundMe accounts and kind of helped raise funds to be able to help Syko Stu pay for his medical bills, which was it was a nice touch. But then the whole question kind of came down to, well, what's going to happen with Roger Jackson? Is he going to face jail time? And the reason for that was because the LAPD was actually investigating this incident. And not just to the wrestlers, but Knokx Pro Wrestling, which is an indie wrestling organization co-owned by Rikishi and a couple others. But apparently the WWE severed their ties with the organization. Now, I don't know now what's happening, but at that point, they pretty much took off on Knokx Pro Wrestling. They said, we're not having any of this. And some other sponsors also kind of bailed on the company as well, too. So a lot of people got affected by this incident. And so essentially what happened is Roger Jackson, he went to court. He pleaded not guilty to battery charges. And there was two charges in particular: felony, battery, and misdemeanor. And so those were added on top of the other charges. So by adding those two charges to the original initial charges, that means that if convicted, Raja Jackson could face about maybe 7 years worth of jail time. Right now, those two additional charges, as I was talking about, had incidentally caused great bodily injury to Syko Stu, and because of which the judge felt that by adding those, they would add an additional 3 years prison sentence to total, for a total of about 7 years. Now, This happened all last Thursday. Jackson will be due back in court on November 24th for a preliminary hearing, kind of settling his case. And it's it's also surreal. I mean, Jackson was arrested in September, and then he was released on a $50,000 bail stemming from his assault that happened that month. And it's really sad. I mean, Jackson himself has a 4-0 amateur mixed martial arts record. He's a young guy. He has his whole life ahead of him, and because of his father, and I'm not saying just only because of his father, but being the son of a legendary MMA fighter, former UFC light heavyweight champion, that really helps a lot in being able to open doors that some others just don't have access to. And a lot of people feel that he almost kind of blew that all away just because of his behavior, especially at an event where it's scripted wrestling, scripted stories, and he just went full MMA, on Stu Smith, and the rest is history. And unfortunately for Smith, we weren't just talking about one or two punches. We weren't talking about just a little body slam to the canvas. I mean, he slammed him to the canvas and then just mounted him and then just repeated blow after blow after blow. There was about 20 punches in total, because of which Smith was hospitalized. He was in intensive care. He had head trauma, serious head injury, damage to both his upper and lower jaws, fracture of the militia upper jawbone, laceration to his upper lip, loss of multiple teeth, and possible concussions. Unfortunately for Stu, it is going to be a long road to recovery. This is costing him and his family the much needed income that he was surviving off of. He used wrestling as an opportunity to deal with this PTSD from serving in the military. It was an opportunity for him to be able to also earn an income while doing it, and kind of all that was taken away. Stu was released from hospital on the 31st of August, and he is at home right now kind of recovering. So this, again, there's a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of people talking about not only the behavior of both of these fighters, but there's also security questions and security and health related, mental health, all kinds of different resources and things that people are talking about that fighters potentially may need, especially when incidents like this happen. So a lot of indie groups and organizations, regulatory bodies are chiming in. I think this incident that happened between Raja and Stu, I think, is actually opening up a lot of conversations, creating for a lot of conversations, a lot of debate. People are working very closely to try to find comprehensive solutions to a lot of the areas that were somewhat gray, where there was a lot of ambiguity. People just didn't really know how to deal with, certain issues. And now when it comes to like fighter health, safety, and that's kind of really at the forefront of a lot of these conversations. So there's some good that's kind of coming out of it, but unfortunately it had to be as a result of this really bad, like unnecessary incident that happened. Again, it was supposed to be a wrestling promo, supposed to be scripted, it was supposed to be in and out. And the worst thing about all this is that Raja was live streaming this whole event the whole time, and it just wasn't cool, right? So while he was mounted Syko Stu on the canvas and unloaded like a fury of 20 blows to his head, ground and pound style, wrestlers pretty much shocked kind of jumped in and had to intervene by restraining Jackson. Otherwise, it could have probably been more than 20 blows. And thank God they intervened, because who knows what could have happened, right? And I don't even want to think about it. But Smith did end up spending several days, again, in intensive care. It's not cheap. Those medical bills added up. Thank goodness to all the athletes and celebrities and people around the world who really, felt bad for Stu and his family, kind of chimed in and helped out to kind of take care of some of those much needed medical bills. And yeah, I mean, it's sad. Rampage Jackson himself, the legendary UFC fighter, has expressed many conflicting thoughts since the original assault. He said, by no way does he condone the behavior of his son. At the end of the day, he's still his son, and so he's trying to figure out how to deal with this. And as a parent, as a father, I can only imagine the difficulty that he's having, because it's his son who's involved in this incident. I mean, regardless of how you look at it, his son committed an act. It was a crime. It was assault, and it needs to be dealt with, most likely punishable by law, which obviously it's looking that way. How many years is Roger going to get is unknown. Will it be a combination of, will it be just straight, this is how many years you're going to get, or will it be a combination of years spent in jail and maybe community service to kind of help reduce that time? Or is it just going to be community service and maybe just a little bit of jail time? I don't know. I don't know how that's all going to look. That's going to be up to kind of the legal professionals to be able to kind of figure that out. But again, live streaming this, it just wasn't good. I mean, the whole assault wasn't good. But yeah, anyways, I mean, yeah, he Rampage said himself that I don't condone my son's actions at all. In an article that he posted in August, he did suffer a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. So he was kind of surprised that after his son experienced a concussion, that he would go back days later and jump into this kind of incident. So maybe that's kind of what might have triggered things, having gone through a concussion. And that's serious stuff, guys. And then for Syko Stu to hit him over the head with the beer can, maybe that triggered something in Raja, and he got pissed off, he got angry, and he just flipped the script. I mean, who knows? I mean, that could be possibly what happened. But as a father, he was deeply concerned, obviously with his son, in respects to his son's health and mental health, and the well-being of Stu Smith as well too, right? So that being said, he was very upset as to what happened. He did try to go on a few different podcasts, talk to a few content creators, YouTubers, talk to some people in the media. He even tried to reach out to Stu and his family. So I don't know all the details related to that, but that being said, he did seem relatively concerned, and especially for Mr. Smith's health, and wished him a speedy recovery. So those are the updates, guys. And so prosecutors are now going to deal with this sentencing enhancement, and how that's going to look. Well, I guess we'll find out more on the 24th of November. And there's some other reports from other wrestlers that the attack might have been kind of premeditated, and that backstage conversations or encouragement may have technically escalated tensions. Regardless of the fact, I mean, you have to be able to be in a position where you're in control of yourself, control of your actions, right? I mean, if Raja got pissed and clocked Stu back, that's kind of like what we know as a receipt. A receipt. Wrestlers give a lot of receipts. In their industry, somebody accidentally, gives them a shot to the head, a punch, a kick, or something that hurts them. Then the other wrestler will take note of that, a receipt, and cash that in at some point, just kind of like a tit for tat kind of a deal. But in this case, yeah, that could have happened. Raja could have done that, or he could have pushed him around a little bit and just kind of threw him to the canvas, and that would have been the end of it. For him to go complete MMA, ground and pound style, 20 punches to the head, and noticing blood's coming out of him, you're noticing that teeth are coming out, and noticing the fact that not even his opponent, but the guy that he's assaulting and beating up is flat out unconscious, not even responding, something should trigger you to stop. He kept going, and if it wasn't for the intervention of some of the other wrestlers that were there, God even knows how this would turn out. So anyhow, guys, that's just a quick update. I know you guys have been following it attentively, as I've been following it very, very closely as well too. I'll keep you up to date with anything of relevance. and we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this. I hope you guys have a great one. Please, if you're new to the channel, please smash the like and subscribe. Join us here for more fight talk. We cover all the trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, boxing, WWE. So we look forward to catching you guys on the next one.